In part 3 of this video series with David Adair, we learn about what happened after Pitholem, the consciousness or katra of the extraterrestrial engine at Area 51, entered into his body. David describes how he was interrogated by Arthur Rudolph and then was rescued by Curtis LeMay, and an arrangement was made that he would be recruited eventually into the US Navy. Then we shift to his graduation ceremony in 1972 at high school, where two men in black abduct him, forcibly recruiting him into military service, and he's taken to a CIA facility where he is again interrogated by Dr. Arthur Rudolph. And then he is once again rescued by Curtis LeMay, and then he begins service with the US Navy. He completes a 4-year term of enlistment with the US Navy, repairing aircraft engines. Then, under unique circumstances, he begins to train as a naval aviator, and then upon completion of Naval Aviator School, he goes to begin service on an aircraft carrier, and then once again, under very unusual circumstances, a Office of Naval Intelligence Admiral notices Adair and recruits him into the ONI. Then Adair begins a very exciting and dangerous period of military service with the Office of Naval Intelligence, which he completes over the subsequent years to fulfill more than 20 years of service with the US Navy, performing many missions, the majority of which remain classified to this day.
You are listening to Exopolitics Today with Dr. Michael Salla, your source for the uncensored truth regarding the human, extraterrestrial, global, and political agenda. Click the like button and subscribe to this channel. And now, here's Dr. Michael Salla.
So we're back with David Adair. It is part 3, and we are going to be resuming this remarkable story.
Okay, well, now I'm merged with this entity, and I thought, this is insane. I can't even make up something this crazy. How, who am I going to tell? I ain't going to tell nobody this. So, we're leaving. And when I leave and I climb down off that engine, do you remember wherever I put my hand on the what would be the organs of this thing? You saw the blue-white waves? Well, now wherever I put my hands on it, it's red flames. So I went, that's not heat ignition recognition alloy. Do you know what it is? It's emotional reading. This thing is reading my emotional, status. When I first looked at it, I was awe and wonder, and I put my hands on it, blue-white. Now I know some of my stuff. I'm coming down off, and wherever I touch, it's flames shooting down inside, because I'm angry. And the reason I'm angry is because we've been lied to so much. Do you realize, I used to go to bed at night, swear to God, it's truth, listening to Anita Bryant LP records, and my blanket was an American flag. I mean, I was just the patriot. And now, all that's blown to shit. Everything I ever thought about the government, NASA, all that stuff, that they used to be like gods to me. Now they're assholes. They've lied to us continuously for material gain. How petty. Not even noble reasons. And I thought, Lord have mercy. I gave my blood and bones and body for a group that don't even give a damn about us. So I said, no, I did it for American people. Some of them still believe in me, or things like I did. But all that's been erased now. I'm coming off this entity structure. I'm angry as I can be. And I remember before I get off the structure, I turn around and talk to them down there below. And finally I said, what do y'all want from me? And the Air Force people say, how does this thing work? I thought this was yours. You built it. You tell me. No, the people who built it are on vacation. You got vacation, son. They're on vacation. I went, did they leave any notes? And they said, no, they got homework. You have homework. I went, oh, God, please. I said, no, let's talk. Let's just be honest. This thing's not from the neighborhood, is it? You know, it's not ours. It's not theirs, the Soviets. It's something else, and you don't even want to talk about it. And I said, this is a power unit. Where is the ship? Where's the crew? God almighty, what'd you do them? Pickle them? You know, where are they? They in jars somewhere? Oh boy, they're getting pissed now. Because it's like, you know, cat's out of the bag. You know, he's not a 17-year-old naive dumbass. He's right here with the rest of us. So they're not liking that part. Rudolph finds it funny. He just thought, yeah, superior intellect is now catching up with, you know, is whooping your ass. So I look at Rudolph and he's smiling. Air Force people were frowning because I'm busting their ass and they don't like it. So I said, I'm leaving. So I step off the platform, and do you know what's weird? When I walked up to that big entity and put my hands on it, it was cold in that damn room, refrigeration cold. But when you touch that thing, it felt like a warm-blooded mammal. When I touched it when I was leaving, it was ice cold. The katra left. So all they got is an empty hull. Nothing to work with. And I thought, that's good to know. All the shit back home's burned. Oh, we are closing the door really good here. So we get up onto the go-karts, ride them back up, close the door, ride them back up to the surface. Then we get over by the hangar doors, and Rudolph is standing there talking to the Air Force people. They're arguing. I don't know what they're arguing about, but it ain't a friendly talk. And I think their discussion is about control, who's in control. So anyway, I'm looking around and thought, I gotta get out there and destroy Pitholem. Because if I take it out, the only thing left would be me. It'd kill me and it's over with. They get nothing. I'm okay with that. I don't mind. I'll die right here now. I'm not going to give this. I didn't come here to build a first strike weapon. I came here to give you a chance to do faster than light speed. But no, you don't want that. You want to build a fucking weapon system and kill everybody. Well, go ahead. Jesus, why should I even care? So, this is the attitude I'm getting. It's not like that today, but that's the way it is at that moment. Because I'm still pissed. Everything's been destroyed. My mental image of what I grew up with is gone. Trashed right in front of me. You don't think that turned you into an angry person? It sure will.
Bet it did.
So I'm sitting there, I'm just furious. I thought, fuck, I've been lied to. So, I'm just a stone's throw away. I'm so mad I'm crying. And I thought, that's it. I started crying and wailing. And Rudolph can't stand that. He can't stand a whining child. Probably killed somebody. Oh, God. So I thought, Rudolph looks at me and finally tells the guards, take him out to his rocket and let him see it. So I don't have to
Why did he do that?
I don't know. But when he said that, I backed up to the hangar door, slid down, and put my hand on the hub of the wheel. Do you know what's inside them hubs? Graphite grease. So, they pick me up, they take me out. We go out there to see my rocket. I get out there, open the introduction chamber, graphite. Smeared it across, closed the door, asked any physicist what happens when deuterium under pressure of a cyclotron meets up with graphite grease. It is a tremendous chain reaction. So I thought that should do it. So I turned on the cyclotrons, it's winding up. I tell the guards, this thing's got a fuel leak, we gotta run, it's gonna blow up. So we get on board and we're driving, and they're moving along pretty quick, you know, we're running over the scrub grass. And he asked me a good question, I didn't think about this. He said, what's a safe distance? What if this thing goes nuclear? God almighty, I went, so he said, what's the safe distance? I went, Chicago? He goes, oh God, you know, and he steps on it. I don't know. If it stays conventional, we should be okay. We're going to be about 2 miles from it. So we get up to the hangar. Guards get out, and he said, they point to me, he says it's leaking. Kaboom! That thing blew into 1,000,000 pieces, and it must blew a hole the size of a football field down there in the desert. But it's gone. Biggest piece I ever found in Pitholem was the size of my thumb. Watch how smart Rudolph is. He looks at the explosion, he looks at me and he says, leaking, huh? These things don't leak. So he walks over to me, grabs my arm and holds up and looks at the palm. Turns and looks at the hangar door. That's how fast he is. And he went, very clever, you know, and then threw my arm down. And I start to say something. He hits me so hard, my bottom teeth come through my lower lip. So I'm on all fours, I'm spewing blood. And I hear all these guns clicking, and I'm sitting there going, it's just not, this is a bad day. And I raise up and look, guess where all the gun barrels are? Pointing right at Rudolph. And I said, oh, their fathers just fought your damn people's ass. And they ain't through yet. And that's a fact. And Sergeant Loki was standing there, and he was looking at Rudolph, and he wants to kill him so bad. I can see it in his eyes. I told Rudolph, I'd be careful, real careful walking right now. One slight move and you're going to look like Swiss cheese. I said, I don't think they give a damn in hell who's in charge. It ain't you. You know, a Gestapo colonel. And boy, Rudolph looks a little concerned. So he backs off because he just hit a Midwest farm boy in the mouth, split his damn lips. I'm bleeding. And you got a damn German Colonel Gestapo standing there. And you're a United States Air Force. And your daddy probably just got through fighting. Or maybe some of these guys were older. Maybe them themselves. They ain't through yet. And they don't like the idea that he just slapped the hell out of an American teenager. Right in front of them. On their base. I could see their reasoning real quick. And I mean, that's the kind of shit that gets you shot. So Rudolph he just turns and spins on his heels and takes off. So they lock me up, and I'm sitting there, and I hadn't seen Rudolph, and I'm sitting in this one room, no windows, one door, and one wire hanging from the ceiling with a light bulb, and that was it. And I was there, seemed like I was there for days, but I think I was only there about 10 or 12 hours. But I had bled all over the front of me. And I heard all this noise out in the hallway. And the door flies open. And standing in that doorway is this figure going like this with a cigar. And he's got the damn colonel of the base by his tie. And I went, that's Curtis LeMay. And he's got that damn, did you want to know a little secret? Who do you think placed the personnel at Area 51? General Curtis LeMay, Chief of the Joint Chiefs. That's where they got positioned. by him. Now, he might be in civilian clothes, and he's got you by your tie. You don't give a shit. This is a 4-star Joint Chief. Got hold of your ass. And he's got that base commander, and he looks at me, he said, did you do that? And I spoke up. I said, no, he didn't do that. Rudolph did it. And he said, where's Rudolph? And the colonel said, he took off somewhere. Find him. And he let him go. Then he said, pick him up, get him cleaned up, and put him on my jet. And so they did. I'm sitting in it's a Saberliner, 117. And I'm sitting there, and LeMay comes on board and sits down in front of me, and off we go. And I'm sitting there, and finally I just look at him, and I says, why'd you come and get me? And this was the most human thing I ever heard out of that man. He said, you're the same age as my grandson. I couldn't leave you. And he said, they're not through with you. They're going to come at you again. And they're going to keep coming at you until you do one thing. I said, what's that? Don't ever build another rocket. He said, I understand you torched everything back home. I said, I did. You blowed this one up here. And what he don't know is I took the katra of the other one. So I got all the damn doors shut. And he said, the only thing left is you. Boy, LeMay's right. I mean, he didn't have all the facts, but he's pretty much still in play. And he said, they're going to come at you. They're going to keep coming at you. So you've got to convince them that you will die before you build another rocket. Then they'll back off some. Rudolph, I don't know. I got to find that little prick. So he was still looking for him. Anyway, we get home, back to Wright-Patterson. We land there. They put me in an Air Force car that takes me all the way back to Mount Vernon, Ohio, to my house. They let me out. I go in and say hi to my parents. They look at me, what the fuck happened? I said, got a few minutes? Dad said, I'm sobered up now, let me hear it before I get any madder. I said, damn, they hit you hard. I said, that goddamn German Gestapo asshole. And he goes, what? Hard to believe, 1971, I've got a Gestapo after my ass. That's nuts. I mean, it's real, but that's why I have so much trouble with other people's stories, because as crazy as it sounds, it could be. Because I've went through some crazy shit here. So
when you're talking about other people's stories about Germans and this secret space program run by Germans.
It's hard to ignore because it ain't much of a stretch to make that shit real. Mm-hmm. From what I've seen, and so I wouldn't be so quick to shut down on them. I'd keep an open mind. Because I've seen shit, man, I can't explain, and I've experienced it firsthand.
Yeah, well, the fact that Arthur Rudolph had so much authority that he could just take control of an entire program from these Air Force guys at Area 51.
Do you know he was the recipient of the most distinguished award? That's the highest award NASA can give. NASA gave him that. And then on May 25th, 1984, he was deported out of San Francisco, Rudolph was, back to Hamburg, and placed under house arrest by the Mossad. Now, how did that happen? Because I called Josiah Hoffman, Colonel Hoffman of the Mossad I used to work with at ONI, and he came and got his ass.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
tell us about that when we get to
I got a letter to that attestment.
Okay.
And he said, thank you for, how do you phrase it? Thank you for bringing those Gestapo maniacs to justice.
Mm-hmm. Well, before we get to you bringing Rudolph to justice, maybe you need to tell us about what happened next with Rudolph.
There was a lot more. He kept coming at me.
Tell us.
I wonder if he ever figured out I was the guy that dropped the old phrase. I dropped a dime on his ass. Mm-hmm. I called Colonel Hoffman, buddy. He came to put an end to it. Mm-hmm. But he kept dogging me. When I saw my parents, It's God. Next day I went to school. The English literature teacher asked me, "What did you do for your summer vacation?" And I thought, I either lie on this thing or I'll tell the truth and it'll put me away forever. But damn, what a summer vacation I had in the junior year. Between junior rising senior. That's when it happened.
So when was the next time you saw Rudolph?
Well, let's see. What happened was, it was quiet in the winter, quiet in the spring. I'm graduating. And then grab hold of this hand of this damn, whatever, I don't know who they were. Probably black, what do you call them? The black suit guys, you know, they...
This is during the graduation.
Yeah, graduation. They hand me the letter, greetings. I'm drafted. So they throw me in the station wagon, take me to Port Columbus.
So just explain that a little bit. You've graduated, you just graduated.
I'm standing in my cap and gown, in line with all the seniors. We're in front of the high school. Matter of fact, I got pictures of it in the yearbook. You see me standing there shaking hands with the parents. Yes, I'm going to Ohio State University. Yes, I have a full scholarship. Yeah, Cambridge, England. That's not a bad way to go to college. Never made it. Grab this hand, ice cold. Greetings. I'm drafted. They grab me. They throw me in the damn station wagon, a blue one. Off we go.
Two guys in the black suits.
Yeah.
The two guys.
Yeah, two guys.
Men in black?
Men in black. That's who they were. They grab my ass, throw me in this car. We drive to Port Columbus. We go to MAC, Military Air Transport. We get out. We start to get on this damn Sabre liner. Actually, it was a Learjet. And here comes a truck full of blue berets. They all jump out, go into formation. I mean, they're ready to shoot. And all these damn men in black, they're ready to shoot. And nobody's going to back down. And I don't want these Air Force people to get hurt. They already rescued me once there at Area 51. You know, they pointed guns at Rudolph, made him leave. Well, he left. So I said, Colonel Williams, just take you and your guys back. Let me go with these assholes. You know, I'll be all right. I don't want anybody else to get hurt. You could easily kill 10 people here. So we get on board the jet. We leave. Colonel Williams said, "We will shoot for you." I said, "I know you will." And it's not me. It's a struggle between the Air Force and the CIA.
So these two men in black are part of the CIA?
Yeah, there's 10 men in black with the jet. And they all got guns. All the blue berets got guns. It's going to be awful. And I don't want to see this. So I get on the jet and go off. An hour later, we're at Langley. They take me into a room, looks like a hospital room. I'm standing by the window. Door blows open. In walks Rudolph. 2 or 3 of his lab coat friends. And they got this table and they pull the sheet back and there's all kinds of damn syringes and shit on it. I began a fight. I'm throwing chairs, I'm busting furniture over people's heads. I mean, I'm fighting for my life. They down me. And there's nothing worse feeling than being stripped naked and thrown on an ice cold steel table. That's what they did. Then I felt the needle go in over here on top of my hand like liquid fire, and it got up to here, and that was my introduction to sodium pentothal, followed by sodium barbital, followed by other sodiums. I've got all the tall families. And I remember going out, Rudolph was yelling at me, wanting to know what happened at Area 51, what happened with the engine. See, he knew something happened, but he don't know what. And he's trying to find out. So, I remember I came to almost 2 days later. Do you know how long you're supposed to have a human being under barbital? No more than 4 hours. Learned that from O&I. I was under 4 damn days. And I remember one of the lab coat guys telling Rudolph, if we give him another dose, he's going to be a vegetable. Rudolph's reply was, I don't give a damn. Hit him again. And So I went out. 2 more days, I wake up later. I am so groggy, and I hear a noise outside the door. And it sounds like Area 51. Somebody's being thrown from hallway to hallway, sideways. And I thought, if I didn't know better, it sounds like Curtis LeMay out there. Well, they came in and they told me I'm going to be in the Army. They're going to send me to Parris Island. They'll send me to Vietnam. I'll be dead in 1 day and I'll be back, and that's the end of the problem. I said, fine, let's do it. Because I've had enough of this shit. So,
this is the CIA guy.
Yeah, the CIA was telling me that. Okay. Rudolph was gone somewhere. Apparently, I caught him with a chair just right. Must have busted across his fucking head. Because he was incapacitated. I went, that sounded good. And so finally I knew something went on because I didn't have any skin on my knuckles. I must have popped somebody. And they came back and they said, we got another suggestion for you. And I said, what's that? You're not going to work on rockets, are you? No. How you feel about jet engines? They can be defensive. So they came back, a lot of noise out in the hallway again. They come back and they said, you're not going to Parris Island, North Carolina. Where are you going? You're going to Great Lakes. What the hell's Great Lakes? Naval Training Center. Oh, I'm going to be in the Navy. Yeah, you're going to be in the Navy. I'm going to be a squid. How about that? And they said, and there you will build jet engines. So I said, yeah, I can do that. So I went through basic training, come out basic training, went straight to Millington, Tennessee, went through jet engine school. There's more to the story. While I was there, me being me, or I don't know, this might be Pitholem, but I was standing there watching them play football across the street. You know who's across the street? Nothing but officers. Enlisted personnel are not allowed to fraternize with officers in the Navy. They are in the Air Force and some in the Army, but never in the Navy. We're not allowed to socialize. It's a throwback to ancient times. The Marines was the guard for the captain of the ship. And so the Marines were created by the Navy to guard the captains in case there's a mutiny. Therefore, officers, the captain and officers in the Marines, stay away from the enlisted personnel. And that's traditional. That's even all the way up to today. So I'm standing there looking at them play football across the street. They're all officers. And I thought, if you go to the French Field House in Columbus, Ohio, you will find my name on a wall up there. I was All-State. I was football. I was a left-handed quarterback, the only one there was. Nightmare for defense, because I'm throwing opposite directions everywhere you playing. So I was watching play football, and I thought, boy, I could go over there and really screw up that game. So I looked around, nobody's looking. I went across the street. I'm in civilian clothes. I watched him play, and I told the guy that was quarterback, I said, do you want to really beat their asses? And he said, yeah. You got an idea? Yeah, I do. He thinks I'm an ensign. So he said, come on in the game. Okay. I get in the game and I tell him, I'm going to run a post pattern straight up the middle, right into the end zone. I'm going to squat down and you just fire that ball right into me. There won't be a damn person around me. They're covering each other because they're all from the academies. They know each other. They don't know me, and nobody's even looking at me. And he's looking at me and he's going, I like you. So he hikes the ball. I run right, I squat down. He fires that thing right in my numbers. Touchdown. I hear them all on left and right. I thought you had him. No, I thought you had him, And I told the guy, see? He says, you got any other ideas? I got a whole bunch of them. So we play football for the rest of the game. We win. And he said, "Who are you?" I said, "I was Allstate in Ohio." He said, "Boy, the way you move and throw, I believe that." And he said, "What squadron you with?" I went, "Uh-oh, I ain't flying. I'm a mechanic." And I finally said, "Well, you want to write me up or throw me out, you can." He goes, "Are you enlisted?" I said, "I am. I'm a mechanic." He goes, "God almighty." He said, "You seem sharper than I don't want to insult you, but you're more like an officer. You're not like an enlisted." I said, "Well, I can fly." He said, "What do you mean you can fly?" "I have 3,000 hours." "Doing what?" "I'm a crop duster." I didn't tell you this part of the rockets. I was doing all the rocketry. Well, let's back up. Let's have a flashback. Where I did my launching, there were 4 farms. And the farms were laid out like 4 big squares. And all 4 farmers, this is 1966 in the fall, and they all became trackers, Star Trek. So they liked my rockets flying. I was over here in a little side of the road. They dug a pit at the 4 squares. I have all 4 farms for a landing area. That's significant. They dug a earth pit big enough where I could drive a car in and out of it. Well, I could run my station wagon, run the big rockets down in there, set them up. The cows got to know me really well. They had Angus cows, beef, and they would be chewing their cuds. And they'd walk up to the edge of the pit and see me working down there. And then when I come walking up the pit, they would all turn around, back up, and wait for a rocket to come out of the pit. If they see me running out of the pit, they all turned and ran off because something's going to blow up. So we all got to know each other. And I got to know all the cows. I liked all the cows. So everything was fine and hunky-dory until I decided to do something called staging. First stage, second stage. Staging is so difficult in rocketry. It took NASA 40 years to figure it out. Russia never did. China figured it out by itself in a year. Watch out for the Chinese. So, my first staging rocket, it came out of the pit, first stage burning. Got to the event horizon, even with the hole in the pit. And then, for some reason, the damn second stage engaged, blowed the first stage back down into the pit. It exploded. Fireball came back up, all in split seconds, turned the second stage sideways, and it takes off toward the herd of cattle. And it looks like a torpedo heading for a damn battleship. I thought, oh my God, it's skipping across the ground. And I thought, God, please stop it. And it hits a bump and it noses into the ground and it's vibrating, trying to drive it. Tanks rupture. It explodes. It's cryogenic. So it goes up 15 feet, then the hydrogen detonates. And it's a giant fireball. And I'm looking at the cows underneath it, and they're all looking up like this, and they got eyes this big. They know this is not normal. So they all do an about face and they stampede. Well, that's not the problem. The problem is on the far side is another cow looking in the other direction, don't see any of this shit. And she doesn't move. They stampede over her ass, stomp her into the ground. I go run over there, and she's dead. She's busted all up. And the farmers are coming from all 4 directions with equipment. I thought, God damn, they're going to see this dead cow. I caused it to get killed. I'm going to lose my launch pit, everything. And they got up to me, you okay? I said, yeah, we've had a mishap with the staging of the rockets, and I'm okay, but your cow's not. Didn't see the stampede coming. They looked at it and went, damn, that's a dead cow. It was fucked up. Side busted open. I mean, it was a mess. And they went, it's 90 degrees right now. we ain't got time to take this cow to the barns or to the slaughterhouse. I said, what are you going to do? And they said, meet us over at the barn. So I go over to the barn. I thought, they're going to throw me off this damn property. So they hang that cow up by its neck with a chain. And it's hanging like this with front legs out. And they tell me, David, you're going to have to dress this cow. And I'm standing there going, what is wrong with y'all? Why would I want to put a dress on this cow? They all explode. One guy's on his knees laughing so hard. And I hear behind me, and they give me this saw. And I cut from here all the way down to its asshole. And all of its intestines and stomach comes forth. 4 stomachs. Because unfortunately this wasn't even an Angus cow. It was a dairy cow. So they said, I said, you got any charts? They had some excellent beef charts. So I cut this cow all up. The wives were out there wrapping the paper, and something they noticed. Said, do you notice him cutting? Yeah. It looks like a surgeon. He goes, his cut marks are just like a laser. He goes, the people at the meatpacking plant don't cut that damn precise or neat. So I cut this cow all up. And I mean, it was a damn big cow. It was like 150 pounds meat after I was done. And so I thought, they said, your father's pulling up. I thought, God, it's just going to get worse. He comes over, he's all giggles and smiles. Said, what's wrong with you? He just gave me 75 pounds of steaks. What'd you do? I said, caused this cow to get killed. Well, they ain't mad? No. They were so pleased. You saved them a ton of money. The cow was old and was going to get rid of it. And you already now did all the drawing and quartering. It cost them nothing. They gave me the meat, so they felt they should pay you something. I'm not going to lose my respect? Hell no, they're happy with you. I went, so I fell in the shit pit and come out smelling like a rose? He goes, Dad said, yeah, you pretty much did. Pretty cool. I said, damn. So the women made me a hat I wore for years. And off of the front of it, it said speed. And everybody thought it meant I built fast things. No, it's short for stampede. Those farmers were great. Do you know?
Have the crop dusting come into that, because.
Oh, here's what happened.
Yeah.
Carl and Marie Compton had a farm across the road diagonally to me. They had a big grass runway built for the local crop dusting planes to come in and land. So they had bought a brand new AG-9 Commander. It's a yellow plane with a big bubble and it's got square wingtips. Excellent crop sprayer. Thing's brand new. Only had 2 hours on it, ops meter. And Carl came home. You know the phrase, caught you with the farmer's wife? The pilot was caught with the farmer's wife and daughter at the same time. Well, Carl cuts loose with a 12 gauge. First shot he missed, second shot he gets pay dirt. He puts the damn pilot in the hospital. Problem is, boll weevils just struck the next morning. They're losing, the Grange is losing thousands and thousands of dollars a day. And there's nobody to spray. All the pilots are busy. All the planes are busy. So they got this brand new AG-9 Commander and no pilot. So I'm sitting there going, I can fly it. And they went, well, we know you're smart, kid, and you fly rockets. Can you fly a plane? Hell yeah. I'm lying through my teeth. I read the manual. And then they come out and I said, I need to test a few things on the plane. It's brand new. I want to. So I take it down the runway, back and forth, back and forth. Finally I go down the runway and I just ram it all the way. pull back on the stick, just what it says in the book. Off I go. Watch the altimeter, watch the artificial rising. Do you turn the bank indicator? I started.
How old were you at that time?
I'm 16 at that time.
So
No, I was
16,
15.
You're self-taught in terms
Yeah,
of pilot.
I just read it.
No lessons, just
No,
you read
just
the manuals.
hit it. Hell, that thing had so much power, man. I was gone off the ground in the air before I even got halfway down the runway. It's such a powerful plane, and I got it. So I flew all over the landscape, practiced some runs, swooping and diving. And the AG-9 Commander's it's a big radial engine. So I came down, dropped over the power lines, come down, you get about 2 feet off the ground, got to get real close to the plants, drop all that damn 7 dust. Then when the trees come up, you go straight up where you're looking between your feet. Then you level off and don't stall, and that's called dusting. So I learned to do it, and I got really good. I mean, I really got good at it. And I had one incident, just one. It was enough.
Was it legal at that time for a
No,
16-year-old
what we
to
did,
fly
no.
a plane?
And I told them, I said, I ain't got no license. They don't care. There's $10,000 a day going. We don't care. So
And
I
the
said,
farmers owned the plane? I mean, that was...
they owned the plane, yeah. And they owned the runway. So I told them, you got any black masking tape? Yeah. We changed the numbers on the plane. We made a 4. We made a 1 look like a 4, and we made a 5 that looked like a 6. So the thing is, when people see me fly by, they write down the number. They can't trace it. Crazy. Anyway, they're thrilled. I save all the damn crops, get the bull weevils out, and I was flying home, ready to call it a day. Flew up over the hill, come down the hillside to the Comptons, and they had a big duck pond over here on the left, and a fucking flock of mallard ducks. No, Canadian geese, they're big. They're in the pond. I come up over real fast, so I look like a giant bird of prey to them probably. They all come up right into my damn plane. The splat, splat, splat. It's all over the damn windshield, all over the wings, dented my wings, and I got goose guts all over the damn engine inside the cell. And it cuts off. I've got no power. I've got nowhere to restart it. So I thought, damn, I'm going to have to put it down somewhere. So I come down and I line up right in front of my house, Route 3, State Route 3. It's a straight road. So I come right down. I'm coming up behind my 2 damn neighbors. Live right next door. They're always elderly, walking on the road. And I'm making no sound. I'm like a giant owl, bird of prey coming behind them. But I'm going to hit them. So what I did, I waited till I got close and I pulled back, popped over them, and then landed right in front of them. And I rolled down the road, and there in the curve is the gas station. I rolled right up behind Pete, who's running the gas station. He hears the tires in the gravel. He turns around with the damn nozzle thinking it's a car. Here I am, this smoking ass plane. And I said, Pete, David, what the fuck are you doing? I just crashed. He said, well, what do you want to do? Help me push this thing over there across the street into that barn. So we put it in the neighbor's barn. Told the neighbors that I'd pay you for whatever you need, but I've got to rent that for a few days. Because I got to get this plane cleaned up. I had to order a oil line. It got broke, and I got it all fixed. And so we waited till Sunday morning, because there's no traffic. Pulled it out on the road. Pete and the other guys got up on top with walkie-talkies and said, it's clear. And I start up, and I'll go up the hill, and boom, I'm gone. I'm back in the sky again. And then I fly back to the runway, land, and put it in a barn. But that was nuts.
Okay, so you got hundreds of hours.
I have 3,000 hours by the time I get done.
And this
officer,
Navy officer.
Now we're back to the Navy officer, and he goes, can you fly? I said, yeah, I got 3,000 hours. Doing what? Crop dusting. He went, really? It takes some skill to be a crop duster. I said, yeah, it's okay. He said, all right. He said, this may cost me my commission because I'm putting your ass in a jet tomorrow with me. I said, why are you doing that? I got a feeling you can fly. You're smart. I just think you know this stuff. So he said, I talked to your instructors how you were a student. You're top of the class. He goes, there's nobody near you. So you're smart. I want to find out. So maybe doing the Navy a favor here. So we get in, I strap up, and he puts me in the front seat, he's in the back seat. And off we go. We're in an A4 Skyhawk, and we get to the bombing range, and he said, see that target out there? Yeah. Could you hit that target? And I wasn't being smart ass, I'm serious. I said, what part of the target do you want hit? And he leaned back in his seat and goes, dead center if it's not much trouble for you. He thought I was being a smart ass. So we come in, I fire it, release the thing, and it hits way above the target. He said, I thought you said you could fly. I can, but I fly an AG-9 radial engine plane. This is a damn jet. You're way a lot faster. That's why I missed the target. Look how I'm north of it. It's because we're moving so fast. He said, well, try it again. So I come back around, I adjusted for the speed, and I hit dead center. I came back around, dead center. Dead center. 5 dead centers in a row. And he goes, that's enough. He said, we're going home. Are you, did I do okay? He said, you scored higher than anybody on this course, ever. He said, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to risk my commission, but I'm going to tell them about you. I said, you know, his name was Conrad. I said, Conrad, are you sure about that, man? I mean, I'm not worth somebody's commission. He said, no, they got to know. I mean, we train thousands of hours and nobody's as good as you are. He said, describe dusting to me. Well, I come down and drop over the trees. I'm 2 feet off the ground. Drop the dust, pull up. And he said, you call that dusting. In the military, we call that strafing. You're the best strafer I've ever seen. You could destroy anything. I said, well, didn't think of it that way. But I guess I am trained for it. So he said, I'm going to command. So he went to C&C, and he told them what happened, and they went, you did what? And he said, fly with him before you bust me. So they put me in a plane. The captain got in the back. Show me what you got. I just took us down the runway, and off we went. Went over the target. Bang, 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 5 in a row. He says, take me back to the base. So he comes back and he says, he goes, what the fuck are we going to do? He said, if we push this up command, they're all going to go ape. And they said, and then I just said, well, whoever they put out, if it's a 5-star Admiral, put his ass in the back seat, let me show him. And they went, yeah, that kind of ends the arguments real quick. So I ended up having a 3-star Admiral behind me. I went bang, 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 5 in a row, and he goes, okay. So he comes back and says, now what? Give him commission. He's now an officer. I said, what about his school? When does his enlistment run out? And he went, next month. Perfect. Let his enlistment run out. Give him 30 days off and tell him to get his ass back to Pensacola jet school. And I went, okay. So I go to Pensacola, and they're sending me to jet school. I thought, I'm going to be a pilot, yay, officer, you know, good shit. So they send me out, they put me, ironically, They put me not in a fast, sleek jet, no. They put me in a damn big-ass lumbering E-2C Hawkeye, radar dome plane. I'm an expert on T-56 engines, remember? So it's all just tying together. And they said, hell, if you can't fly it, when it busts down, you can jump out and fix it, and we'll keep on going. They said, what a handy fucker you are. I said, let's just go. So we were flying it, and I got sent to carrier qualification. We call it carrier quals. And they said, you ever flown on a carrier? No. You ever been on a carrier? No. Never even walked on one. Well, you're about to. And they said, we are aviators. We are not pilots. We're better than pilots. Why? Pilots' runways don't move through the ocean at night, bobbing up and down at 30 knots, and it's raining and you're shot up, and you got to land. That's an aviator. Pilots just land on a big runway, don't move anywhere. I went, oh, damn, I wonder if I'm that good. Well, first time I come in at the damn rainstorm, damn carrier's doing this shit, I hit the cable on the very first pass. I said, I think I got this. So, and I'm landing, the biggest airplane that can land on a carrier is 50,000 pounds. The radar dome plane. So I finally get the thing landed, hit the cable 5 times. Said, you're now carrier qualified. So they let me out, and I'm tired. I want to go to bed. I thought, I need a shower. It's where the shit starts. I'm sitting there, and I look down the hallway, because I just came out of C&C, Command and Control. And I look down the hallway, and that's where all the flag officers are. Admirals and captains and admirals. And I'm looking at that glass door, and it's all etched glass. 2 Marine guards on each side. This guy walking down there is wearing a pair of thongs, a towel, shave kit, and that's it. They snap to attention, he goes, carry on, and he walks in. I thought, huh. So I'll go down to where they got me at, and I'm going to take a shower. My shower stall was sitting between 2 shit, I don't know what you call them, trenches. There are commodes on them, and they crap. It's at 30-degree angle, and the crap rolls down on each side of the shower stall and outside the ship. I looked at that and go, there's no way I'm getting in there. I'm tired. I don't need this. So I thought, I know what to do. So I went back to my cabin, put on a pair of thongs, a towel, got my shave kit. I go walking down to those Marines just like I own the damn place. They snap to attention. I go, carry on, and I walk on in. Now I'm in the flag officers. That thing had got goldfish that spit out water. It looks like a Roman spa. I thought, these fucking assholes. So I get in the shower stall. It's got every kind of amenity and hair conditioner and body lotions and all that stuff. So I'm taking a shower. I thought, yeah, this is nice. I hear a door open. I thought, damn, I don't need anybody. In walks a 3-star Rear Admiral, Douglas. And he talking to me. Oh, I don't know you. You're young. Yeah, I'm here on carrier quals, RVAW 120. Okay. How's it going? I'm doing fine. I thought, I got to change this conversation quick. So I looked at his bag. He's got a polo pony on it, which means he's a member of the polo club. So I said, you like polo ponies, do you? And he goes, yeah. And I used to be a farrier. It's really. I pour my own shoes, made my own metal. And I shoot horses. So I know a lot about horses. And I said, how's your ponies doing? He said, they're having a problem with their frogs. I said, really? How can y'all change the stalls? Every day, we got people clean them. I said, yeah, but when you clean them, do you put down lime? No. You don't put any lime down, you just put the straw down and they stand in there? Yeah. You've got thrush. Does it look like cottage cheese around the frog? Yes, it does. You take your pick and you clean it, and he said, yeah. How's it smell? Like a dead cat? And they went, yeah. How do you know this stuff? You got thrush. Get on the phone. Call that damn thing. Start clean the straw out, throw it away, and then scuff up the dirt and put down a layer of lime, put the straw back down, and keep checking the ponies. And get some, it's green, I forgot the name of it. It's like a witch hazel. Pour that in around the frog. And he said, okay, I'll call him, I'll get on the phone. And 2 days later he told me, he saw me, he said, boy, those ponies' hooves are completely healed up. You really know your stuff. So while I'm talking to him about it, we're in the shower again, because he wants to take a shower when I'm taking a shower, so he can talk about the ponies. Damn door opens. 2 people come in, and he sees them. He says, Frank, how you doing? I thought, no, that can't be Frank Wood, my CEO. So I'm just showering away, and I'm drying off, and I open the door, and from here to you, there is Frank Wood, my CEO. Captain. I'm 01, he's 06. This is not good. I open the door, and his eyes get this big, right? And he's gritting his teeth. And I tell the Admiral, well, I've got to go, Admiral, but I'm glad to hear about your ponies. And I go like this to my damn CEO. Standing behind him is this other guy. I don't know what he is. He just got a towel around him. But he's leaning around looking at Frank, and he's looking at me, and he's looking at Frank. He knows something's up. And he's watching me, and I go like this. And he almost breaks out laughing, but he's quiet. He goes like this. Frank's about to fucking explode. The Admiral says, Frank, this young officer really knows his ponies. Why don't you invite him down to your office and talk to him? Excellent idea. Show up my office at 1500 hours, you know. And I went, oh, God. So I go down at 3 o'clock and knock on the door. I hear, come in here, you son of a bitch. So I walk in. He is screaming so loud. He's parting my hair when I had more hair with his breath. He's so mad. And his veins are standing out here. And I looked at him and said, Skipper, you better calm down. You're going to blow a gasket. Oh, my God. That was like stepping on an accelerator. He really went off. And then finally, that guy that was with him is leaning against the wall like this. And finally he goes, and he goes, oh yeah, my friend wants to talk to you. I don't know why he wants to talk to you. And he looks at me and he said, you recall me being down there? I said, yeah. He said, do you always react that way? That was the most stressful looking situation I've ever seen a human being be in. And you went like this to your CO. Your voice didn't even break or inflect. You kept talking to the Admiral. How the hell did you do that? I said, just concentration, I guess. Do you always behave like that? Well, not when I'm screwed up this bad. And he said, I want you to come and work for me. I want to see if you're a fluke or if you're the real deal. And I started to ask him, well, who are you? Man, I said, who? And commanding officer jumped in my face and said, it don't matter if he's goddamn Santa Claus. If you don't go with him, I'm going to see that your butt fucking seals at Adak, Alaska. See them papers on my desk? I'm moving you right now there. Make your decision. I said, I'll go with you. He said, grab your gear and get on the F-14 up there. And I did. He jumped in. We take off. And I don't know who he is until finally I look at this damn officer's plaque. There's this damn picture. He's an Admiral. Do you know who he is? Director of O&I.
Can you say his name? Or can I say his name?
Yeah. Well, I have to look it up. I can't remember it.
Is that Bobby Ray Inman?
His first name was John.
Okay.
And I thought, God Almighty. So, I guess I got invited. So I show up. They put me in a barracks, officer's barracks, and then next morning I'm on a jet, commercial jet, plain clothes, and we're off to the Red Boot Saloon in Denver, Colorado. The Red Boot Saloon is a biker's Hell's Angels haven. It's been wired for sound and visual. And it's a training ground. I didn't know this stuff. They don't even know it, the Hell's Angels don't. So we pull up. I'm in a black suit with a white shirt and a skinny black tie. I said, this is my disguise? Yeah. And they said, you have, starting right now, exactly 5 minutes to get in that bar and to get somebody to buy you a drink. Dressed like this? Yeah. Okay. So I get out and take off walking. I'm walking up to the front door, and the first thing I notice is I want to see what bike is parked closest to the door. You know why that is? That's the leader of the pack. So there's a 1000 Sportster sitting there. Perfect. I own a 1000 Sportster. I know how to drive this thing. So I just throw open the doors. It's just a fucking nightmare. All these Hell's Angels with jackets and shit, they're all sitting there. And they all stop. And they all turn and look at me. It's dead quiet. I said, whose bike is this? And this thing stands up. Got a helmet on. Got a scar that went down through here. Looks like been hit with a saber. Don't even have a left eye. And he said, it's mine. Why, are you writing a fucking book? And I said, no, but does the throttle stick on that thing? He goes, yes, it does. I used to work on a Sportster. I said, well, come out here. So he comes over and I said, see these two little holes under the levers? Yeah. Look at the diameter of them. So, anybody got a can of WD-40? Here come about 10 cans. Look at this red tube. Look at this hole. It's machined for this. Really? Yeah. Now let's squirt it. How's that feel? And he goes, damn, they feel good. Can I spin it around the parking lot? I'll show you how well it works. So I spun that damn 1000 round on its spot, went down, I coasted or glided around the corners, come up to the front door, slid it sideways, stopped and said, there it is. How's that? He goes, that's amazing. So he said, come on in the bar, let me buy you a drink. I got 2 minutes left. So I'm sitting there drinking a beer with him, and I'm starting to drink, and then everything goes quiet and it's warm. And I can't hear anything, and it's warm on both sides of my head. What has happened, his wife, his old lady, walked up. She's got these big tits, and she's put them on both sides of my head. And I turned around, finally I looked and see him, and turned around and saw her, and he starts laughing. He says, my old lady thinks you're cute. There's a bed in the back if you want to go ball around, it'd be fine with me. I said, I would, but I gotta go. You see a stupid suit? I wasn't always like this. I was once like you, but I got a job. I can't afford to lose it. And they said, okay. So I walk out back to the SUV, and I tell the guy, I said, it was the Master Chief, and I said, I have 45 seconds left. He not only bought me a drink, but I can ball his wife when I go back. Is that good enough? And they said, get your ass in the back seat. So I just went and sat down. And the other recruits were looking at me like, I said, what? Y'all gonna have to do this stuff. There's nothing to it. Well,
so that's the kind of one of the standard tests for getting into the intelligence.
Exactly, that's an O&I test.
That the Office of Naval Intelligence.
And they said,
just testing your ability to think fast, adapt to a new situation.
Adapt. They wanted you to be a virus. Adapt really fast. And they said, I asked how I did. I found out I got 10 out of 10. So I got 10 points for that.
So when is this in terms of you being in the Navy now? I mean, this is at the end of
this is my first 30 days in after OCS. I'm already been ran through the Red Boot Saloon, and they're going,
You're an
Jeez.
ensign.
Yeah, I'm an ensign. And they said, he's that young, he's an ensign, and he's that good. And I went, yeah. Well, this is really good. This is, what else can he do? And they ran me through all kinds of shit. The last day, I was put on a team to watch these Iranians. They were in this bar, and I was watching them, observing things. And a woman, pretty woman, came up to me and asked me what time it was. And I started telling her my time. And I heard tires squealing to a stop. I turned, everything goes black. They threw a hood over me, threw me in a van, and beaten the shit out of me. First 10 seconds, they broke my nose, broke 2 ribs. I am just really wheezing and hurting. And I'm trying to count the number of turns. And they said, beat him harder, he's counting the turns. You know, doing what I'm trying. And finally we come to a stop. I don't know where we're at. We get out. And they're still wailing on me. And they take me into this room. Duct tape me into this chair. I'm stripped and naked, don't have a thing on. And this asshole comes up and says, we need to know how much you know about us. How much did we know about us? I said, we don't know shit. I don't even know you. Who are you? And he said, tell me what I need to know. And finally, he slaps me, he gets into my face, and I get a big mouthful of blood right in his face. Bleh, all over him. He gets mad, he grabs a needle, he's coming at my eyeball. He said, that's going to cost you an eye. And he got close again to me, I spit again, I said, fuck you. And he went, damn. So he's coming in. Bells and alarms go off, everything stops. He drops the needle. The end of the wall slides back. There's my home room. I'm back in school. I'm butt naked in front of my class. And the instructor over at the desk said, this is Lieutenant Adair's last day here. And he just showed you how an O&I agent behaves. He said, we have to admit it was a little bit more defiant than we thought it would be, but that's what we want. He said he was defiant to the end. And he said he didn't know this was a test. And he said, congratulations, Adair, you just graduated. That's O&I school.
So how long were you in O&I for?
Jeez. About 21 years. So I got a full career in with them.
So this is after you did the aircraft engine
right,
and the kind of jet training. And,
yeah.
And how long was that period where you were doing the aircraft or the jet engine repairs? And
It was about 6 months.
6 months for that.
Yeah. And things moved along pretty quick, plus I accelerated. And then, of course, I told you the first day of work, I show up the rhinoceros and all that shit. And that happened. But this is on, I graduated O&I. And after I graduated O&I, that's when I ran into the rhinoceros. And the Admiral's sitting there thinking...
Yeah, what did you tell us about that story? Because it's
an
amazing story. And
well, what happened was, I just graduated. I'm reporting to work. It's my first day. So I put on my nice spiffy dress whites, really pretty. It's summer. It's supposed to have dress whites. So I'm walking down the street. In front of, over here is Freedom Park, over here is the White House. And I'm on Pennsylvania Avenue. And then I'm on the sidewalk and I hear some woman yell, watch out. And I turn around and this big white thing hits me and knocks me across the damn sidewalk up against the building. And I thought, well, goddamn, whoever's driving this damn SUV is going to kill me. They're pushing me against the wall. And I get back and I look, I went, that's not a turn signal. That's a damn eyeball. What the hell is it? So I back up and look at it. It's a white rhinoceros, size of an SUV. And it's backs off, and it comes at me again, and finally I just yell, "Stop!" He stops, backs up, looks me over, takes off running, goes around the corner of the building, is gone. I don't see him again. I'm laying there, I am all messed up. I'm half whites on, I'm bleeding, got road tar all over me. This thing was using me like a mop on the sidewalk. And the other pedestrians came over and said, "You okay?" I said, "Yeah, I am. I'm just going to get up and hobble down to my office and I'll be alright." So I get up, limp all the way down there, walk down the steps, and sitting at the desk is the Admiral. And he's not looking up, he's writing something. And I said, "Lieutenant Adair reporting." And he said, "Just a minute, I'll be with you." And he looks up and he goes, drops his pen, he goes, "What the hell happened to you?" I said, "A white rhinoceros mugged me in front of the White House, just pushed me all over the sidewalk and tore me up." And he's blinking his eyes and he goes, "Well, why don't you go home, get cleaned up, and we'll try this again tomorrow at 8 o'clock. I said, "Okay." So I go home. He's telling the story to Senator Strong Thurman. Because I just told Thurman what happened on my last mission. Thurman looked at me, turned to the Admiral, "Somebody drop him on his head. What the hell is he talking about?" And I was telling him what happened. And then the Admiral said, "Senator, let me explain something about him. He's a little different." And Senator Thurman said, "You got that right." "No, I mean, he's really different. He's been with us for 12 years now. And he has, I don't know how to explain this. He's a lightning rod for the weird and unexplained. He'll be standing there and shit will start. And you can see it starting. It's the strangest thing we've ever seen. He will come in for a debriefing, and I've called all my secretaries out there putting lead weights all over the paper piles. What are y'all doing?" Well, Lieutenant Adair comes in. When he does, he's like a cyclone. Papers go all over this place. So when we know he's coming in for a debriefing, we just weight everything down. "Cyclone?" He goes, "Yeah." So he makes a phone call to my hangar. And so I come in, and he's looking at me, and he said, well, he tells the Senator, "Senator, I was standing there in my house, pouring myself a drink, thinking, the Navy sent me a madman. I got to work with him. What am I going to do?" I turn on the TV. A woman comes on. She says, "Today, the Washington Zoo was transporting a very rare white rhinoceros. It escaped, mugged a pedestrian at Pennsylvania Avenue, turned the corner, was recaptured." And he told Thurman, he said, "I dropped my glass, I dropped my bottle." He told the truth. Now, if he comes running down these steps and he tells me and you, Godzilla's coming down the street stomping on buildings, you and I are not going to go look. We're going to run to the basement as fast as we can. Because the stranger shit he says, the more real it turns out to be. That's all I can tell you about him. There's nothing wrong with him. He's one of the best agents we've ever seen. But he's got this thing that starts with him. And we didn't have any words for it till we saw the movie Forrest Gump. And now, fellow officers and some admin people see crap starting with him and they yell, "Run, Forrest, run!"
What date was this? The rhinoceros incident?
I can't remember. It was years and years ago. It was, but it was only about, find out when Forrest Gump came out. It's about a year after Forrest Gump was out. That's when it happened. But I told this story at the Moose Lodge here in Morganton. 2 people I don't know stood up and said, "I remember that story. That was you?" I said, "Yeah." And then a woman said, "I remember that. Feed my family. That's something you don't forget. A rhinoceros running somebody down on Pennsylvania Avenue." She goes, "That's weird. That's you?" I said, "Yeah." And I don't know. It just happened, shit happens. I mean,
So earlier on, you mentioned this kind of prisoner of war during Vietnam. So you subject. So
right.
So where did that kind of fit in terms of you joining the Navy?
Well, what happened
joining
was
the ONI. Was this kind of in between? Was this before that?
no. This is that was part of the missions.
So you were on an ONI mission.
Yeah. What happened was we've got to be careful how we tell this because I'm under an NDA on this. I'm 30 miles outside of Hanoi. I just came back from photographing something. Did you ever hear of a movie called Flight of the Intruder?
No.
Well, it's a real movie and you can watch it. It's a true story. 2 pilots, A6 intruder pilots, A6, they went off the reservation. We were trying to get the damn North Vietnamese to come to the Paris peace talks, and they wouldn't. And they had all these AAs, anti-aircraft missiles, they're about the size of telephone poles. They had like 200 of them setting up in front of a hospital at the square of Hanoi. You have to fly down the street. So I flew down the street. I took all the pictures, the films, photographed the damn AAs, fucking mountain of them out there. And they're feeding them out to the fields, knocking our damn B-52s down left and right. So I photographed them. The photographs in my film canisters, we make it back. And they develop it. These 2 pilots find the films. And they take off with 2 A6 intruders. And they fly them down Main Street where I did. Went in and blowed up 200 fucking anti-aircraft missiles. Leveled Tiananmen Square, with Hanoi Square. And came out of there. Nobody caught them. They were gone. It screwed up the anti-aircraft battery so bad they couldn't function. And they came to the Paris peace talks. Because they couldn't afford to be hit this hard again. So they started negotiating. And Nixon found out about it. And he said, well, instead of punishing those pilots, we'll give them some air medals. And that's how that happened. But see, I'm the guy that shot the photos that caused the flight of the intruders to take place. So I'm not supposed to tell you anything about this.
Okay.
But I came out of the clouds and I looked down and there's a MiG-23. That's a very formidable fighter, but I'm an F-14. I'm a bird of prey. So I just went, okay, I'll come down. I blowed both his wings off on the first pass. But what I didn't know was MiG-23, MiG-23, 23, 23, 23. I take the first one out, now I got a swarm of bees. It's an old radar trick. On my IFF identify friend or foe radar, it says 1. There's 5. They're stacked. They fly that way. If you come down from the top where you normally do on the attack, you're only going to see 1. They got me. So now I took 1 out, but now it's 4 against 1. So I get 3 more. And then the 4th one finally puts a heat seeker up my port tailpipe, blows the engine through the damn rear, the titanium bathtub where all my radar, I'm a wild weasel pilot. You have your bombers, got your fighters, and a wild weasel in the front. We fly in, get everybody to shoot at us. Then the fighters lock onto the launch pads and take them out. Then the bombers come in and decimate everything else. Well, what happens to the wild weasel pilot when all the damn missiles are after him? That's his problem. Your F-4C is stripped down to the bone. You have no bombs, no missiles. You have a Vulcan Gatling gun, and that's it. And you only have about half your ammo. because you're stripped for speed. You should be able to outrun everything. But that's not a good situation. It's really not. So, when I came out of the clouds, I did that. I got shot down. Down I went. Back's messed up. The Marine recon show up. I'm laying there on the ground. I said, I'm going to kill somebody. I can't get caught like this, so I put the gun by my... No, I'm going to shoot somebody. I'm so pissed off. And I thought, finally I said, I'm just going to shoot myself. And then, Navy, here's the 4 prettiest words you ever heard. United States Marine Corps. They're Marine recon. They were watching the air show. And they said, damn, you got shot down. I said, it was 5 on 1. I did okay. I got 4. And he said, yeah, it's not too bad. He said, that other thing you dropped, what was that? Well, the first thing that I dropped was my fuel tanks, so I could get ready for a dogfight. The second thing I dropped was my film canisters. Did you get them? We did. So me and the film made it back. Successful mission, even though I got shot down. Screwed up in the back. I was paralyzed for almost 6 months. The left arm and left leg would not work. Just hang there.
And you mentioned a camp. I mean, being in a camp and...
Well, that's the second time.
Oh, so you twice you were shot down.
I got healed up. They said I'd never walk again. Proved that wrong. Went back to work. And then the second mission came up. And what this was, we weren't sure if these targets were real. So if that's the case, then what you do, you send in an unregistered fighter. If he gets caught, he can say he's off the reservation. Everybody drops it. It's a bad situation to be in because you got no support. So I flew in, I napalmed this village. They told me to because the intel said that there was tremendous stockpiles there. Been tearing us up. General Westmoreland was getting his butt kicked every day on the battlefield. He said, somewhere there's a huge supply. And this village was right next door to the Ho Chi Minh Trail. It's getting supplies. So, I napalmed the whole damn village. And this one hooch is burning. And damn thing detonates with such a force, blows me out of the sky. I pass over it and it's just bad timing. But it basically snuffed both my engines out. So I just plow until rice paddy. They capture me. A lot of fun things goes on.
How long were you in?
I was there for about 2 months. And nobody's coming to get me. You're off the reservation. So I thought, I'm so fucked. How am I ever going to get out of here? And then, strange thing. I asked to go apologize to the village. The base commander's going, I can't believe this about you. So they have an air raid. I'm in a tiger cage. Nobody comes and gets me out of the tiger cage. And I thought, God, I guess I'll just have to sit out here in a tiger cage in the middle of a damn air raid, having the shit bombed out of it. But I think I know why that happened. Because that tiger cage was so old and riddly, I turned around and used my feet and I kicked the damn end of the door out. The hinges broke off. So I'm free. I'm up and running. And so I take off running. 2 people take after me. And that's where I fell with the tiger.
Right.
But that was my second term.
So you escaped?
Yeah. So I was, first time I got rescued by Marine Recon. Second time I just escaped myself. I outran them. Help of a big ass tiger ate up my pursuers. But after that, nobody pursued me.
And again, that's when we have that incident with the tiger and the consciousness.
Yeah. And that's not all. There was another incident. I was walking down the trail, and this cute little kid come out of the bush, I almost shot him because I didn't see him. And he's trying to tell me something, but we don't speak the language. But finally he just puts his hand out and stops me. He takes this long stick and throws it out in front of me. And this tripwire goes out and these damn bamboo clamps show up. You know, with spikes that long on each side. That would have killed me. I'd have been dead right there. So I gave him, the only thing I had was a piece of gum. I had hidden forever. Pulled it out and gave it to him. And I was trying to tell him, don't swallow it, just chew. And he liked it. And that's crazy.
Well, one more incident, you know, while you were ONI, with the ONI, you told me about the submarine. I mean, you want to share that story?
Oh my God. That was, there's so many stories. That one was good though. What happened was, I didn't tell you the full story about the hammock. I was chronic seasick. I mean, I got seasick on a carrier. That's bad. They're like a moving ocean, a city. I still got seasick. So, if you put me on anything smaller, I'm going to turn green. And I did. And I could take throwing up. I was good at it. And this boatmate was watching me and he said, you know, you're a very likable fellow. People like you. So we're going to do something for you. We're going to go old school. And I went, oh God, what are you going to do to me? And he said, nothing, I'm going to make something for you. And he knitted this hammock. He said, you ever notice the hammocks on the old tall ships? Yeah. They'd hang all the hammocks up and they slept among the cannons. And when they got ready to get action, they take all the hammocks down and use the cannons. He said, yeah. What do you think they're using hammocks? Well, they're easy to roll up and get out of the way. There's another reason. The ships moved so badly. You hang in a hammock, you stop moving and the ship keeps moving around you. And that motion in your inner ear stops. And you're no longer sick. I went, really? So he gave me this hammock. I'm already green. I hang it up. It's a destroyer I'm on. I roll into this thing. And damn, I'm not in there 1 second. And I'm no longer sick. The motion stopped. Ship's moving all around me. All I did was close my eyes because I don't want to see the ship. He said, keep your eyes closed and stare at the ceiling in one spot. And he said, you'll be okay. So, that hammock became my best buddy. So I'm on this sub. I hang my hammock up in the front torpedo room where I'm out of the way of everybody. And I come back and my hammock has been stolen. I go straight to the captain. This is before the suit incident. Tell the captain, somebody stole my hammock. He said, okay, we can fix this. This is what I mean by when you're a commander of a sub-commanders don't have time for bullshit. They don't. They just go straight to it. He gets on the radio and tells the whole ship, all right, we got a guest here on board, O&I. He put a hammock up there in the front torpedo room. He is chronic seasick. You have stole basically his medicine. Now he's sick. So we are in a metal tube 1,000 feet under the water. I'm ordering all stop. We're not going to fucking move until somebody returns that hammock, no questions asked. Otherwise, we'll be here for the next 9 months. I promise you, we ain't moving nowhere. Buddy, in 5 minutes, my damn hammock was back up there swinging. And I don't know who took it, I don't care. I didn't ask. Neither did the captain. But he said, you can bet the crew got it. Somebody who stole it. Got them in a corner and threatened to kill them or beat them to death. Because they're not going to stay there for that shit. So I crawled back into my hammock and I was fine. So that's when Chiefs walked up. I guess that's where they got the idea. There's a guest on board. You don't have to do anything. So the chiefs walk up to me and they look at me and say, we're working on a special suit that's designed to work in a reactor while it's at full power. And I said, well, damn, what idiot are you going to get to work in that thing? Little did I know. So they said, and what can I do for you? He said, well, we work on it. There's 5 of us. We have to put one of us in the suit, and we lose out all those extra hands. We could get a lot more done if we could put somebody in the suit as a mannequin. I said, oh, okay. Can I read my book? Sure. Okay, yeah, put me in there. Well, first thing they did was give me an enema, and I went, how long am I going to be in this damn thing? And they said, quite a while. Then they put this thing over your penis. It looks like a condom. It's a relief tube. Then they start strapping you in. It takes 2.5 hours to get that stupid suit on. It's built like a astronaut suit. It's got a big full face helmet, shield out in the front. There's a switch I can flip on and off on my toggle switch on my hand. And I can hear what's being said. So I'm sitting there, and I just turned the thing off because I'm reading the book. It's quiet. And they told me be careful with my hands because I have 400 foot-pounds on each finger. That's enough to crush a bowling ball. So I'm sitting there going, okay. So I don't hear anything, but I see all the lights flashing and people running everywhere. And I look around and all the chiefs are gone. I thought, what the hell's going on? So here comes a sailor running down the deck. I reach out and grab him by his arm. I'm about to break his arm with these things. I flipped the switch on. I said, what the hell's going on? We got a situation. I can see that. What's all the alarms and bells and whistles? What's going on? He said, all 5 reactors have scrammed. What? They all scrammed. We're going to turn into a nuclear fireball and we're going to melt. Whoa, shit. So I let go of him. And I'm sitting in a suit. What am I going to do? I can't even get out of a suit. And then another guy comes in and sits down right in front of me on purpose. And he looks me right through the visor. And he reaches down and he flips my comm switch on. So he knows all about that. And I said, I recognize the emblems. I said, hey, Skipper. It's the sub commander. And he said, son, we got a problem out here. I said, yeah, I can see it. We're going to melt down in about 22 minutes. It took 2.5 hours to put you in that suit. Take you 2.5 hours to get out. There isn't time. What do you want? I want you to go in there and fix the reactors. I said, I don't know anything about reactors. He said, the pile rod's jammed. Go in there and take a look. I see in your record you're an underwater welder. You know how to do this stuff. I said, okay. So I go in, and I'm finally sitting there, and I lean back in the seat, and I just went, which way to the reactors? Because there's no other excuse. You're going to lose a $6 billion submarine, 130-man crew gone, all of that. So yeah, I got to do something, and I'm going to die in the process. So where is the reactors? So we went in there. They put me in the first room, heading to the second room, and I'm starting to open the door, and the chiefs tell me, Adair, whatever you do, don't touch anything that's blue. Why? You'll vaporize. Oh God. Open the door and the whole damn room is blue. I went, well, now what? And they went, I don't know, it's all new to us. Oh God. So I look over on the wall, there's all the pile rods, drove in flush, wide open. One pile rod laying diagonally like this, dark, it's cold. I said, there's a pile rod that probably shorted all the others out. So I go there, pick up the pile rod with these special arms, and cause pile rods are heavy, but don't fit with this thing. So I set it in place, and I noticed the scissor bracket that the damn rod sits on has broke in half. You know, a $6 scissor bracket, and you're going to lose a $6 billion submarine and 130 people. I thought, boy, this is embarrassing. So I picked the thing up, take a pair of vice grips, lock the scissors, put the pile rod in, tack weld it, and the pile rods, they hit their switches, and this pile rod goes in all the way, and then they all come out, all of them. All the reactors shut down, everything's quiet. And they said, we're on battery power, and they said everything's fine. So I come out there, and they start flushing me out. First flush goes by, and they said, wait a minute. What? You're still 1,000 Redkins. After the flush? What was I before? You don't want to know. Oh, God. So I said, am I going to have any balls left? They said, we'll check you out. So they flushed it and refilled, flushed and refilled 7 times. Finally, it cooled down. I was at about 100 Redkins. They let me out. Got me out of the suit. Checked me out. Balls were fine. And everything was fine. And I'm laying in the bunk of sick bay. Here's the skipper walks up. I thought, oh God, here we go. He goes, son. And I thought, oh, this is bad when he starts out like that. Yeah, skipper, what's up? He goes, you don't drink, do you? I said, no, sir, I don't. He goes, what are you, some kind of weirdo or something? I said, what? He goes, you're a SEAL, you don't drink, you don't smoke, you don't chase women, you got no tattoos. Yeah, my Admiral says I'm a freak of nature. He goes, yeah, I think he's right. He said, you drink tea? I said, yeah, I like iced tea. He said, we can't tell anybody about this. I said, I kind of figured that because isn't it kind of embarrassing a $6 bracket would cost you a $160 billion sub and 130 man crew? And he goes, yeah, we can't live with that kind of crap. He goes, but know that that will be addressed. I said, somebody's ass should be hung on that one. He said, yeah. He said, what will happen, we're not going to, no medals, nothing we can do. Thank you. So that's lame. But he said, know this, in the submarine community, it will be always classified, but it's going to be known. They're going to know you. And he said, wherever you go, whatever bar you go to in the submarine community, they find out you're David Adair of the Tigerfish in the suit, you will never buy a drink the rest of your life. And that's happened about 4 or 5 times. I go to a submarine bar, find out I'm the guy from, it's not Tigerfish, it's something else. And I'm the guy in the suit, and they asked me, what's the captain's name? I'll tell them. What's the first Master Chief's name? I'll tell them that. And they went, damn, you were there. What do you want to drink? You know, anything in the damn bar. You want the bar? We'll buy the bar. No, I said iced tea would be fine. Iced tea? Okay. I told him I'm a recovering alcoholic.
So during your whole 20-year career, just to kind of tie this up with what we've discussed earlier,
Right.
do you think, or was there any mission, any kind of event that kind of like connected in some way to Pitholem and what you discovered about carrying that consciousness?
Well, yeah, but it's subtle. Like that time I escaped on my own and I'm running through the jungle. And I run out into midair and I fall down and I land in front of a Belgian tiger size of that couch. And it's looking at me. And it's going to kill me. Its ears are down. And I'm sitting there going, wait. And it's looking at me. Like I can feel, I'm connecting. And I said, there are 2 men coming to kill us. They're going to kill me and you. And it looks up and its ears goes down. Looks back at me and its ears come up. And I took that as a sign. I don't know what it was. Might have been Pitholem, somebody. But that cat got me. And I went, I'm leaving. It didn't do a thing. I get up, doesn't move. It just looks up waiting for those 2 guys to come down. I take off. I hear them fall. They don't even get a shot off. All I hear is bones breaking. That damn thing tore their arms off and ate them. I mean, it was ready. And also, you ever seen a big cat or any cat squat down and shoulders come up above it? Because it's getting ready to do this thing. That's what it's doing. I was thinking, God help, anybody land in front of that thing right now, you won't even know what killed you.
Okay, so there was some kind of psychic connection. That
Yeah,
could have
I believe Pitholem was doing something about that. And there's been other times, other things that went on.
Anything that you can share?
Yeah, this is not classified at all. This happened with a guy named Paul Andrews. Paul runs the Whole Life Expos.
Contact in the desert.
Yeah, that crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is years before that. This is Whole Life Expo. I was at Las Vegas. This is 20 years ago at least. And I'll never forget this. This is a serious technical sidebar I'm supposed to do. I'm going to explain in detail how fusion containment works. So I've got a blackboard, I'm drawing stuff. And then something happens. Over on my right side, I'm facing my audience. On the right side over here behind the petition in another room is a drum circle, a drum corps. They're over there doing their drumming and stuff. And I thought, that's pretty cool. And then on the left side is a grieving circle. That's grim. These people are all just dying in grief and stuff. So I'm listening to the drums. I'm up at the blackboard and finally I go, gather near, I have a tale to tell. And I thought, what the fuck is all this about? And there was 2 professors down in front. They were PhDs. And I said, look there, we have a paradox. And the people get it. They bust out laughing. And I thought, wow, that's not me. I wonder who that is. Pitholem. So I said, a paradox. And then there's 2 women next to them. And they're laughing so hard they turned red. So I jump off the stage right down in front of them. I said, look at you. You're red in the face. You're dying. She goes, uh-huh. Can't breathe. I said, well, go ahead and die. We got Daniel Brinkley here. I'll have you back in time for lunch. And they bust out. I mean, and finally the room monitor, who is, he's Australian, by the way. He lives over in Clyde, over by the paper mill place. Smells so bad. Anyway, you came through it. If you smelled a paper mill today, that's where he lives. He was going like this. He's pointing down at the door. And I look over at the door, and I see an arm come up and grab hold of the handle. It's somebody that's laughing so hard they can't even stand up anymore. And they're rolling out the door, and they done pissed their pants. I mean, that's how crazy it's getting in this room. Paul Andrews is 1,000 yards away. He hears all this yelling and screaming. He thinks, that's David Adair. He's got a riot going. So they all come running over, just in time to see somebody roll out the damn door on the floor. Paul goes, God almighty, what's going on in there? So a guy walks up to me and he says, this your room? I said, yeah. You're the speaker? Yeah. I'm the leader of the drum corps. Oh God, did we mess you up? He goes, you're so loud I can't even hear the drums. He said, they all want to come in here. The drum corps does? They said, bring all the drums in. And they did. I said, follow me with the drums. And I'm up on the stage. I'm going, help me somebody, I'm possessed. And they're all laughing. I ain't kidding. Something has possessed me. It's probably Pitholem. So I'm like, God. So they're screaming and hollering, and it's like nothing will stop it. But this woman in black walks up to me and says, I'm next door with the grieving circle. Oh, did we mess you up? You're laughing so hard over here, the whole grieving circle wants to come over. I think it'd be very good for them. I went, hell yeah, we'll pack you in here somewhere. About like a shoehorn. Now there's so many people, I'm up against the wall in front of the screen, and I can't move. There's so many people in there. And it just goes on and on, and it won't stop. Now, damn if I can think of his name. The room monitor is recording this. They play the recording back. You never hear my voice. You just hear all the laughter. And it tapers down, then it blows up again, because I said something. But my voice is not recordable. And I told him, I said, I need that tape. I need that tape more than any tape I've ever done. He said, I'd like to help you, David, but you heard it, the machine's fine. We tested it out just now. It's not the machine. It just would not record you. And I went, wonder what the hell that was. So, I don't know if it's Pitholem or not, but she did show up one time. I just had a thought. I went to Mammoth Cave. You ever been to Mammoth Cave? Yeah. All right, there's a room they call the Cathedral Room. Has a bridge that goes across it. Has these big rails all the way up over top so people won't fall. It's a 1,000-foot drop. They don't want to lose anybody. And that's where they turn the lights off. Your eyes can't adjust. And the acoustics are so perfect in this cathedral that if you're talking this slow, my voice sounds like it's right here in your ear, and I could be at the other end of the house. The acoustics are that good. And so, okay, I get it. So they turn off the lights. The eyes can't adjust. And then all of a sudden I'm going to say something. And I'm going, what am I going to say? I don't even, all of a sudden you hear a deep voice, total darkness, and what you hear is, hey lady, that ain't no handrail. And the place explodes. You get it, the big rails over top of us? Mm-hmm. And this voice says, hey lady, that ain't no handrail. And the place explodes. The ranger's scrambling on the wall trying to get the lights on, asking, who the hell said that? And I'm like everybody else. I'm with my third wife and her best friend, and I'm looking around with the rest of them. Who said that? Who said? That wasn't me. I'm funny, but I'm not that damn funny. That was brilliant comedy. As soon as his lights went off, it started. Hey lady, ain't no handrail. And it's stuff like that. It's went on through my life. Not earth-shaking events, but I clearly know when it's above my class. You know, smarter than I am. And in this room, many times had wife died lay there, and I would say something on TV off of it, bounce off of it. She'd hear it, and she broke out laughing so bad she poured a whole glass of water all over herself because it was just hilarious. And I told her, I said, that's funny, I heard it the first time you did. That's somebody, something else talking. So Pitholem will speak up. I just asked her, whatever you do, please don't embarrass me on a stage in front of an audience and kill me, you know. And she hasn't. It's been a symbiotic relationship. She has never done anything harmful or abusive, but done very smart stuff.
Well, maybe for the next segment, the next part, we can talk about things that have been happening recently with inventions, AI, and so forth.
Oh yeah,
and other materials. So we'll bring this part to an end now.
Yeah,
and regroup.
Yeah.
You have been listening to Exopolitics Today with Dr. Michael Salla. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Join or start a conversation in the comments. Take the time to explore the vast library of best-selling books, webinars, and podcasts by Dr. Salla. Visit exopoliticstoday.com.